It was 7 friends in the basement of the house. Blankets on the floor, video games going, pizza, junk food everywhere. All the makings of a great sleepover. Well, before the night really even started, the mom walked down the stairs and said this.
Midnight. You guys better be asleep by midnight.
Everyone nodded. Yeah, sure, okay. Because let's be honest, every parent says it at a sleepover, but that never is what happens. So they went all in. Xbox tournaments, Mario Kart, laughing loudly, telling crazy stories. It was awesome. Well, it's midnight. It's 12:01, and the party's still going. They're still being loud. It's now 12:30 a.m., and they're even louder. Then the basement door slams open, and the mom comes downstairs, and she's mad.
Get your phones out now. Every single one of you is calling your parents you're getting picked up tonight.
Wait, what, like all of us?
Yes, all of you. Sleepover is over.
And by 1 a.m., the basement living room was empty. Just blankets and crumbs, and that mom's very, very sad kid. I mean, yeah, I get being frustrated that your kid and his friends are being loud, but hey, they're kids. This is messed up. From now on, you sit here by yourself. I hate my life. This kid was 10 years old, smartest kid in class. He aced every test, every assignment, but he was also super funny. Everybody loved him. And you see, the classrooms were set up like this. Round tables, and each table had like 5 people at it. Well, in this class, everybody wanted this kid at their table because he was just such a good time. That is until one day, the teacher deemed him too distracting. She pulled him away from his 5 friends and made him sit in a desk facing the wall at the back of the room. Sit down. And he was the only one back there. The rest of the class were sitting in their groups. Group projects, he worked alone. He wasn't allowed to talk. Week after week, he kept thinking, surely I'll be moved back to my table soon. But the teacher never let him. And slowly, he could feel the gap building. His friends got closer with each other and farther from him. That desk in the corner became his life. For 10 months. A punishment that was supposed to last a week lasted for 10 months. And that is not fair. Yo, I got a shortcut. Through there? So after school one day, this kid swears he found a shortcut home. He's pointing to this giant cornfield like, trust me, it's way faster. Now a bunch of kids are skeptical. Bro, that's not a path. That's just corn. But half the group follows him anyways. At first, it's funny. They're laughing, they're pushing through the corn stalks, they're making jokes. Then 10 minutes pass, there's no road. It seems like it's just endless corn. Wait, we passed this corn stalk already, didn't we? It's all corn, man. Trust me, just keep walking. After a bit more walking, panic does begin to kick in, and their phones aren't working. The sun's setting, you can hear coyotes in the distance. You hear that? We're gonna die. By the time they finally stumble out of the cornfield, it's dark, they're dirty, scratched up, and dehydrated. And what do they see throughout the neighborhood filling these streets? Police, firefighters, parents, everybody freaking out. Turns out, word spread fast, and when this group of kids never came home, things got crazy. Hey, a bunch of kids never came home today. Get every unit out there right now, we gotta find them. The whole town formed a frickin' search party. And this shortcut, it added 4 hours. And the kid that had this idea never lived it down. That's insane. In 7th grade, this kid realized that Pokemon cards were frickin' currency. His older brother handed him a shoebox full one day. Hey bro, you can have these. Hey, thanks Johnny. And they were great cards. There was EXs, GXs, full arts, super rare cards in there. And at first he brought them to school to show them off. But then someone offered him $15 for that one. Okay, thanks, here you go. And that's when it clicked. He built out a binder, he set prices for specific cards, and he started dropping little hints around the hallways. This full art right here is only available today at lunch. After that, it's off the table forever. And that created urgency, because kids were like, oh my gosh, I want that card, I can only get it today. And suddenly, kids were lining up by his lunch table. It was kind of epic. He would also sell in the hallways, in the bathrooms. Between periods, it was just him. He didn't have a business partner. And teachers were seeing this like, oh, how cute. He's making a little pocket change selling his cute little cards. But no. By the end of that year, he pulled in more than $3,400. And that is a business mindset. You gotta respect the hustle. One day, randomly, this kid told his teacher, my grandma died. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, that night, the teacher emails the mom. I just wanted to say, I'm thinking of your family. Deborah was such a good woman. May she rest in peace. The mom reads it, and she freezes. Wait, What? Her mother-in-law wasn't dead. She was literally at bingo that night. A few minutes later, a different mom from school calls her. We're all gonna miss her so much. She was such an incredible woman. No, I'm sorry, there must be some sort of confusion. She's not dead. By the end of the night, half of the neighborhood is sending their condolences. Everyone thinks Grandma's gone. This one family even dropped off a casserole. She then confronts her kid. Hi, did you tell everyone that Grandma died? Yes. Why? I don't actually know. The mom then calls her mother-in-law to warn her about this entire situation. Oh, hi, sweetie. B27. Crap. Hey, Deb, so apparently you died today? Oh, well, no one told me. That's good to know. G26. Bingo! At this one elementary school, all the teachers would split their classes into two groups, penguins and rats. And the teachers would use these groups for stuff like projects, just to organize the students. All right, class, penguins line up here, rats line up here. But here's the thing, a rivalry between the penguins and the rats of the school began to grow, big time. Penguins and rats started not sitting by each other at lunch. They would steal from each other. They stopped being friends with people because of this. Hey, Johnny. What? I hear you were a rat. Shut your mouth, penguin freak. That's it. Fistfights, brawls at recess, pushing kids off the monkey bars. There was a full-blown war between these two groups. It was absolutely out of control. And the school staff didn't know what to do, so they just canceled recess. And they said, no more groups, no more penguins, no more rats, this is done. Eventually, it all kind of stopped. There were moments where kids tried to start new groups. Tigers, snakes, bears, but nothing stuck. One kid tried to bring it back a year later. He was passing flyers around the school that just said, "Penguins rise again." But he got suspended for inciting violence, and nobody tried that ever again. That's absolutely insane. This is absolutely crazy. So there's this one freshman in high school, and his parents are out of town for the week. Well, instead of playing Xbox every day after school, he does something absolutely insane. He builds an actual wrestling ring in his backyard. I'm talking wood frame, ropes, the whole thing. And at school, he starts telling people, every day after school, my house, wrestling matches, $2 to get in. And for the first few days after school, it's just a couple of kids messing around. But then it started getting serious. One kid begins managing fighters and training them. Another's making poster for the big fight on Friday. People are putting money down. They're making actual bets, and these fighters are training all week. Well, by Thursday and Friday, it's not just this backyard thing anymore. Half the school is showing up. There's bets being placed, referees with whistles. It's absolutely insane. Well, finally Friday is the big fight, and it is beautiful. Until this kid's dad comes home and sees what's going on. What the heck is going on here? Oh my God! And the whole thing was shut down instantly. But those who went to that school never forgot the week of backyard wrestling. That's kind of crazy. This bully got a dose of karma. Right by the front entrance of this middle school, there was this carpet, and everybody had to walk across it as they were entering the school. But this one kid made it his personal game. Every morning when this one kid would enter, he would slide the carpet out of the way and pour his water bottle down. He's coming. Watch this. It was the same target every single day. This one curly-headed kid named Jerry. I'm Jerry. And this kid just took it. He accepted his fate. He always fell for it. He slipped and fell every single morning. But one morning, the plan backfired. A school security guard was walking through the doors right behind Jerry. And the bully does it. Jerry slips, but so does the security guard. Thud. He fell down right in front of everyone. Oh no, you! That was on purpose. No, no, no. You're coming with me. The bully then got suspended, and when he came back, he never did it again. And Jerry was finally free. Isn't that nice? These two sisters begged for a dog. Please, please, Dad. The dad would always say, you girls are not responsible enough. Well, years go by, and after years of pleading, the dad finally caves in a little bit. He compromised and brought home a pot-belly pig. Oh my God, a piggy! They named her Sonic because she would sprint around the house like lightning. And for a while, Sonic was family. She would nap underneath the dining room table, roll over for belly rubs. She would even let the family rest their feet on her like she was a footrest. Well, Sonic didn't stay small. Within months, she grew into a 4-foot pig that lived in the patio. Well, then came the house renovations that were supposed to be done. The dad said the workers were gonna be there all the time and there was nowhere for Sonic to stay. She's gotta go somewhere, she can't stay here. Well, honey, we have to figure this out. We can't just let her go. They begged. The mom looked around and she found a country club that was willing to house her temporarily while the renovations were getting done. But the dad said no. Weeks later, the mom and the daughters flew to Sydney, Australia to visit some family. One night, the phone rang and it was the dad. So nobody agreed to take Sonic. Okay, I'll make some more calls. Hey, don't bother. I put her down. She's gone. It's for the best, okay? Have fun. What? The three of them just sat there in silence. They were stunned. Your dad killed Sonic. What? No. They were absolutely devastated. That dad is the absolute worst. And, rest in peace, Sonic. Picture this, first day of high school, a new teacher walks in. Cool looking guy with the mustache. He starts roll call. Billy, here. Carl, I have milk in my backpack. Steven, here. You must be the kid that still sleeps in that blue race car bed, huh? What? The kid was confused because he actually did sleep in a blue race car bed. So he started thinking that this guy's a total creep, but he forgot about him. Maybe it was a lucky guess. Well, as days go on, there were more and more things this teacher was saying. How's Rufus, Steven? Has he still got that stomach infection? How did you know that? This reminds me of when your mom was talking about the cat and when he ate the light bulb. Hey, Steven, how was that Twinkie last night? I know you snuck one from the cabinet. Was it 2 a.m.? 2 a.m. Twinkie? Kid's absolutely freaked out. The next day he's in class, scared of what he's gonna say today, when all of a sudden, his dad comes out. Hey, how we doing? Johnny. Steven, we got you. Yeah, we got you, son. What? Turns out this kid's dad and the new teacher go to the same gym, and one day they got to talking, and the dad's like, oh, you're starting at Gilchrist teaching this year, huh? Yeah, 5th grade. Oh, my son's in 5th grade. Oh, nice. What's his name? His name's Steven. He's in your class? I have a great idea. It was all an elaborate prank. Kid was definitely relieved, but he's not too happy that now all of his classmates know that he still sleeps in a blue race car bed. Every day this kid would come home with bruises and cuts, and his mom would always ask, oh my God, sweetie, what happened to you? Oh, just football, Mom. It's rough. But here's the truth. It wasn't from football. After school, there was this fight club that was in somebody's garage who lived near the school. It wasn't just like 1 or 2 kids. It was like 30 of them. They would gather at this guy's garage, they would circle up, and they would throw down. And here's the thing. The guy that hosted this, his parents worked late, so they were never home after school. All right, gather in, gather in. Round 1. Martouche and Kenny. You ready? Let's rock, Salmon Man. And they weren't going easy on each other either. It was insane. There was split lips, busted teeth, and what's the rule of Fight Club? You know it. Nobody talked about it outside of this circle. So every night this kid would walk back in his house, beat up, bloody, and he would say the same thing. Football practice, Mom. It was rough, but it was never football. That's insane. So it was senior prank season, and this one might have been the most beautiful senior prank this school has ever seen. It's the last week of school, and the seniors show up. They've got a ladder, a few backpacks, and they're carrying bags upon bags of something. How much you get? 30 pounds. You're kidding. Nope. 30 pounds of confetti. They sneak into the assembly hall where the school organ is. Now the school was about to have an assembly, and for some reason at every single assembly, the music teacher plays the organ. Now it's a giant old organ with these large pipes, and these pipes stretch up to the ceiling. With the ladder set up, they climb up, and they start pouring confetti straight down each of the organ's pipes. And not just a little confetti. Pounds of it, until pretty much every pipe is stuffed. Well, only one teacher is in on it, and that's the music teacher. He gave them the green light because that old organ was being thrown out anyway. But nobody else knows about this, okay? So, 2 hours later, the whole school is crammed in for this assembly. The principal gives his speech, and then the organist starts playing. Whoosh! A cloud of confetti blasts into the air like fireworks while this beautiful organ music is playing. With each note, another explosion of confetti goes off. And now it's like a blizzard. Students are cheering. They're trying to catch it. It's beautiful! But the teachers are really confused. Oh my God, what's happening? What's happening? The principal's standing there looking around like the ceiling just collapsed. Meanwhile, the music teacher is just calmly playing the organ while this crazy storm is happening. It's a beautiful sight. By the end, the floor is covered in confetti, the seats are all buried, and the seniors are just looking around like, wow, we did that. And that was it. That organ never played another note, but that prank went down in school history. At this school, swimming class was mandatory. Twice a week, full swimsuit, no excuses. This was also in the 80s. Well, then bomb threats started to happen. And they were always during 4th period. Every time students were getting their suits on for swim class, the alarm would go off. Whole school evacuated, the cops would show up, dogs would come in sniffing around, and it kept happening at the same time every single week for like a month. Some teachers thought it was an actual threat. The principal was panicking, nobody knew what to do, but it was just one kid doing this. He didn't want to swim, he couldn't swim, he hated swimming, I don't know. So every swim day, he would leave school campus, walk down the street to the gas station, use the gas station payphone to call the school, and call in a fake bomb threat. Like no voice changer, it was his normal voice, and he would just say,
"Yeah, there's a bomb at the school. You should probably check on that."
He was caught, suspended for 2 weeks, and had to retake swimming class that summer. And that is the craziest way anyone has ever skipped gym class. A dirty pair of shoes changed his entire life. It started when this kid noticed something weird. Every single Friday, without fail, this one math teacher wore the same busted sneakers. Grimy, white New Balances that were definitely super stained. So one day during lunch, this 8th grader walks up to him. "You know I can clean those shoes for you, right?" "Eh? Be my guest." So they go to his classroom, he gives him the New Balances and puts on another pair of shoes, and this kid takes the teacher's shoes home. He wants to do a good job, so he's watching tutorials on YouTube, he borrows his cousin's shoe cleaning kit, he goes to town. Well, he brings those shoes back looking brand spanking new. "Yo, these are nice. Can you clean the shoes I actually care about though?" And just like that, word spreads fast. By next week, this kid's got a folded up table in the corner of the lunchroom with a sign that says, "Sneaker Shine, $5 for basic, $10 for premium." He brought in toothbrushes to scrub the stuff, he had suede brushes to keep that suede looking fresh, and he had sneaker whitening pens. By week 3, some of the football players are giving him their cleats after practice for him to clean. By week 4, he's got some teachers that are giving him their shoes. And by week 5, this kid is shining shoes during class, doing algebra with one hand and scrubbing Vans with the other. Business was absolutely booming. Well, one teacher, who's kind of lame, reported him for running an unauthorized business. The principal pulled him aside and said, "Look, you're not in trouble. Just don't make a mess, keep it quiet, and bring your rates down for school staff. For you, Mr. Johnson, you got it. And for you, always free." He made $800 in 2.5 months. Eventually, after a while, it did get out of hand and he had to stop. But by that point, he had a huge clientele, and he started his own website. You gotta respect the hustle. No. He was in the back of the classroom, during a boring lecture, scrolling through his crush's Instagram page. I mean, pretty risky thing to do with a crush in the class, but that's what he was doing. Well, he's years deep into her Instagram page. As he's scrolling, his thumb grazes the heart. No. He panics and he accidentally goes back. So now he's got to scroll all the way down to find this picture that he accidentally liked from 5 years ago. His brain short circuits, the school's Wi-Fi is so bad it's kind of lagging. Older posts aren't loading. No. He looks over at his crush and he sees that her notification went off and she's reaching for her phone. No. Meanwhile, during all this, his phone was at 1%, and it died. His face goes completely white. The guy next to him asks him, "Hey bro, you okay?" No, he wasn't okay. She looks at her phone. So he just gets up quickly and walks out of the room. "Gotta go to the bathroom, I'll be right back." As he walks out, he looks behind and she's looking at him. So now his crush saw that he liked a photo from years ago during class, and now he's running out of the room. He probably looks insane. But his crush saw it, so he goes to the bathroom and he sits in the stall until the bell rings. He said he was so embarrassed he didn't go to school the next day, and when he did return, yeah, he got bullied, so. You either finished in 60 seconds or you failed. This was 8th grade, pop quiz day. But it wasn't just any quiz, it was Mrs. Lowell's quiz. Okay, pencils down at the timer, you have 60 seconds. There are 10 questions, you should be fine if you studied. 10 questions in a minute? Time's a part of the challenge. Welcome to real life, buddy. She sets a timer on her phone. 60, 59. 58. You can feel the panic. Kids are scribbling down trying to finish this 10-question quiz. And the buzzer goes off. Pencils down, I will collect these now. Everyone's groaning like they all knew that they just failed that thing. Next day, grades get handed back. One kid got 20%. One kid got a 50%. One kid got a 10%. Yo, this ain't fair, miss. You only gave us a minute. Yeah, and you should have been ready for the quiz. Just brutal. 2 weeks later, different day, the bell rings for class. There's no sign of Miss Lowell. A minute passes, then 5. The whole class is just sitting there. Well, suddenly, one kid stands up and walks to the classroom door. He locks it. What are you doing? She says 1 minute's enough time to finish those quizzes. We gave her 5. Class already started. She's locked out. Shortly after that, she shows up and she tries to open the door, but obviously it's locked and she doesn't have her key. Unlock this door immediately. Nobody moves. You are wasting class time. You're a hypocrite, miss. You're late to class. Welcome to real life. You gotta respect the hustle. His parents were at the sleepover. It's Friday night. Sleepover at his buddy Jonah's house. First hour solid. Pizza, soda, Mario Kart, chillin'. But then, hey boys, we have next round, okay? This is gonna be great. It's Jonah's mom and dad. They join him and they play 4 rounds. Yo, this is kind of weird, man. Oh, it's fine. Later, they go for a bike ride. Let's go, bro. All right, see you, mom and dad, we're heading out. But then Jonah's mom and dad come out on their own bikes. I'll lead the way. I'll be in the back for safety. What the heck? Biking in formation. Back inside, it's movie time. They're watching The Sandlot. Jonah's mom walks in with a pillow. Oh, I love this one. Scoot over. The dad's laying on the floor. They stay for the entire movie and the dad's crying at the end. Now that's a classic. Now that's a classic. Then it's time for bed. Sleeping bags on the floor, lights off, and then suddenly, zip! Jonah's parents lay out their own sleeping bags and they join them. Good night, boys. I had a lot of fun today. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. He doesn't sleep, he just stares at the ceiling listening to Jonah's dad snore, counting down the hours till morning. Worst sleepover ever, and he never went back. This kid gets caught cheating on purpose. This happened last spring. There's this math teacher, right? She's super strict, but only to certain kids. Late homework, 0%. Wrong format, 0%. But if your parents were rich, if you were on varsity, if she just liked you, you were fine. And everybody knew it, but nobody could prove it. But then there's Noah. He was at top of his class. He literally had a spreadsheet to track his GPA. One day he wanted to prove that this teacher was a little biased. So during a quiz, he leans way over his desk and stares at the person next to his quiz, like clearly cheating. Can I see? The teacher looks up, sees him doing this, but nothing. Completely ignores it. The next week, there's another quiz. Now Noah's friend Kyle, the teacher didn't like that much, so this was the other half of their plan. During that quiz, Kyle begins cheating off of somebody else, and he doesn't get very far. Office now. Not even 2 seconds into Kyle cheating, the teacher sees this and calls him out immediately. Kyle gets 2 days of in-school suspension. Noah, nothing. So their theory was proven. A few days after that, they go to the principal together and they explain to the principal the situation that's going on. And believe it or not, thank you for sharing this. I believe you guys. Yes, I'll have a talk with her. I promise. The teacher was out for a few days, but when she came back, she was a whole lot more fair. I bet that principal really gave her a talking to. Yo, this backfired. This happened during a school test. This kid's about to get started, but this girl, his bully, says this to him right before. Hey, loser, I'm gonna cheat off you. This is the same girl that's been bullying him for years. But this time he has a plan. He just says, sure. Well, what this girl didn't know was that this kid got extra time on exams. So on test days, when class ends, most kids leave, but he still has an extra 30 minutes to finish the test. I had this in school as well. So here's what he did. The exam starts, and she's cheating off his test. Answer for answer, identical. Well, for the first hour of the exam, he's answering everything wrong. Even the short answers. Stuff like, what is inflation? He puts, when a balloon gets bigger. So the second she finishes copying, she stands up, turns her test in, and done. Thanks, idiot. And walks out of the room all cocky, super smug. Well, at this point, everybody else had left, and now he begins his extra test time. He erases his entire test and fills everything back in with the correct answers. Perfect. A week later, they get their test back. He gets 100%. She gets a 0 because he purposely made every question completely wrong. This makes no sense. What's wrong? Oh, 0? That sucks. I got 100. Who's the idiot now? Hey, don't underestimate me. She was so mad, but from that day on, she rarely bullied him anymore because obviously this kid was 10 steps ahead. He's a genius for this. She's not breathing. I'm calling 911. This happened junior year. Middle of class, the teacher collapses. It's the ground hard. It wasn't a fall. It was a full-blown cardiac arrest. One student jumps up, grabs their phone and dials 911. Yes, my teacher collapsed. I don't think he's breathing. Can they guide him while he gives chest compressions? Stay with me, teach. Stay with me, teach. Ambulance comes, they take the teacher's life is saved, and guess what the school does? They suspend that student. You're suspended, you broke the rules. School staff is supposed to approve all emergency calls. Are you kidding me? That was the actual policy. If something happened, you were supposed to go find a school admin, report the crisis, wait for a call to be authorized, and then somebody can call 911. Like, it doesn't make any sense. This kid's teacher was literally dying on the floor, and he got in trouble for calling 911 to save his life. And get this, later that same year, another kid has a seizure, cracks their head on the floor, the whole class is screaming, and it takes the school 30 minutes to approve the call. Sounds like they didn't really care about emergencies. They cared about control, and that is so messed up. You skipped school yesterday. Yeah, I know. I have the perfect punishment for you. So this kid skipped school one day, and he wasn't even subtle about it. He didn't fake sick, he didn't have a note, he just didn't show up. And he was posting Snapchats during the school day of him at like McDonald's, riding his bike in the park, playing video games, and that got to the principal. So the principal was like, yo, this dude is just. Next morning, he walks in and he gets called to the office. The principal's waiting. You skipped school yesterday. Yeah, you know what that means. Makeup work? No, suspension. So I didn't come to school yesterday. Correct. And now you're punishing me by telling me not to come to school. Exactly. You're suspended. We'll see you next week. He walks out confused. Like, is that even a punishment? He got suspended for 2 days, so Thursday and Friday were off, then he had the weekend. It was a nice long weekend for him. The best part, his parents were working late all week. So he literally just stayed home, ate cereal, and played Xbox. Now, I'm not advocating going to get suspended to stay home and do stuff. I'm just saying, for this offense, for skipping school, getting suspended feels like a really weird punishment. An in-school suspension probably be better, but I don't know. It was just crazy to me. What do you guys think? You want a basic charge or fast? Let's do fast. I need it juiced up by next period. This kid figured out that everyone in his school always had super low battery on their phones. Teachers wouldn't let you charge your phone in class, and half of the outlets were blocked off. By third period, everyone's walking around with like 1% battery. So one day, he shows up to school with a massive portable battery bank. He hides it inside his locker, and he builds a business. $3 for a basic cord charge, $7 for the fast cord charge, $10 for full day priority service. Each cord is labeled blue, slow, red, fast. He's got adapters for every type of phone. He's got a chart in a spiral notebook, and business was booming. People are taking him up on this charging service. He's got sticky notes in every device. This phone for lunch only. This phone charging from lunch till end of day. You know, he was very organized. By the end of this week, he's got regulars. He's got VIPs. One girl even prepaid to have her own charging slot for the entire month to use whenever she wanted to. Kid asks if he can get a charge during science. Yeah, all right, basic or fast? Fast. All right, that's $7. I'll be right back. But then one day, 3 kids show up to his locker in between classes, and they're all huddled around it. One teacher saw this and got very suspicious. She opens it up and finds 6 phones plugged into a glowing battery brick, fast charging cords tangled like spaghetti, and a handwritten menu taped to the door of the locker. Shut down, battery confiscated, parents called. That was it. He was definitely upset, but dang, what a business. In those 2 weeks he ran this, he made over $200. All because he had a good idea and a battery brick. Gotta respect the hustle. Miss, how are we supposed to know when it's due? You just are, okay? This one teacher was brutal. She wouldn't post due dates for anything. She wouldn't write instructions. She would just say it once out loud and expect you to remember everything. And if you didn't hear it or you missed the information, that sounds like a you problem, doesn't it? One day she assigns a huge project. She explains it once, she talks fast, there's no visual, no handout. This one kid, he raises his hand. Wait, how are we supposed to, Josh, were you listening? Yeah, but then why are you asking? No one knows when it's due, what it's supposed to look like. It's total confusion. One person thinks he remembers the due date, one person remembers it differently. It's a mess. And from that moment on, Josh decides he's going to record everything this teacher says every single day, without her knowing. 2 weeks later, half the class gets zeros on this other project. There's no excuse for this, you guys. I told you exactly how I wanted it. Josh raises his hand. Actually, you didn't. Excuse me? He takes out his phone, fiddles with his recordings for a second, and then he presses play. It was her whole explanation for this project. It was loud. It didn't make any sense, and she was mumbling for half of it. So basically, it's gonna go on a big piece of paper or, like one of those things, and then you're gonna make sure that you get everything down from that one, the chapter, I think it was 9, maybe it's 11, but put it all on. Hey, guys, quiet. All right, that's it. Let's move on. So are we all really getting zeros, or are you gonna give us the instructions again? The next day, she handed out a printed rubric for that project, and she gave everyone a second chance to do it. And from that day forward, she always had printed out instructions for every single assignment and project. Yeah, as she should.
এর লেগা চুপ আছিলাম কিন্তু অহনা চুপ থাকান যাইব না।
কিরে সাজান,
আমরা মানি না, আমগো খানদানে আমরা এক গ্লাস পানি পর্যন্ত ডাইলা না খাই।
আমাগো খানদানে আছে।
এই ভাবি একটা ফালতু খানদান থেকে আইছে, এইসব খানদানের আমি ধারদারি না।
চলো না আমরা বাড়িতে ফিরে যাই।
তুমি কি পাগল হয়ে গেছো নি? এটাই আমার বাড়ি এখনতে।
চৌধুরী সাহেবের সাথে আমি কি কথা কইছি? তুমি কোনো কথাই কই নাই কে? সাজান তোমারে কইলো এত
দিচ্ছেন? হ্যাঁ দিচ্ছেন না? এলা বাইরন, আমার বাড়িতে বাইরন।
একবারে হাসা করছেন আব্বাজান। আপনার পোলার এই বাড়ি কোনো রকম বিতলামি করলে আমি তোরা ঘাড়াই, কিন্তু ভাবলাম আপনাকে একমাত্র পোলা গাড়াইলে আবার দিলে চোট পায়।
দিতাছো তুমি?
শোনো, তোমাগো খানদানে যেমন কিছু নিয়ম আছে আমাগো খানদানেও আছে।
এইসব ফাত্রা নিয়ম কেউ যেন জানবার না পারে, মনে থাকবো তো? তোর যে নতুন ভাবি
হয়ে যাইবো।
যা মন চায় তাই করো, এই ফোন আমি দিব না। কার লগে কথা কইতাছো? হ্যাঁ
আমার ফোন দাও।
আরে বাপ রে বাপ, কইতেছো কি তুমি? আমার খানদানি পোশাক আমি খুলে ফেলামু, তুমি কি আমার অর্ডার করতেছো?
শিউলিমালা যা কয় তাই অর্ডার।
এসে আমি দেখালামও কিন্তু কয়ে দিলাম।
আম্মা
ওই কি ভাবতেছো? ভাবাভাবি বাদ দাও কইলাম। অহনি পোশাক চেঞ্জ করে আসো, নাহলে তোমার সারা রাত গা চুলকাইবে। আমি শাহজাহানের আব্বা আম্মা দিলে চোট পচাইছি, এর প্রতিশোধ নিতে গিয়ে শাহজাহান তোমাকে মধ্যে
বইয়ের হাতে মার খাওয়া চলে, তাই কিছু কই নাই কা।
আমাগো খানদানে জামাই মারনের নিয়ম নাই কা।
তুই আমার এখান থেকে যাবি না মানে কি? অক্ষণ তুই বাইরবি।
আব্বা
ফাইনাল ডিসিশন লয়ে লইছি, আজকে রাতে কিন্তু আপনার লগেই ঘুমাবো।
আমার লগে কেন বাজান? আপনি আমার লগে ঘুমাইবেন কেন?
জিন্দেগি তুই এইটা আর পোষাইতে পারবি না। বাজার তোর আমি সাজিয়ে দিচ্ছি, তুই জলদি।
ক্যাচে লাগাইছে।
মা তুই এক কাম কর, জামাই লইয়া শ্বশুরবাড়ি জাগা। ওন মা শ্বশুর
এই তো একেবারে বাঘের বাচ্চা।
ফুদি দে।
আচ্ছা বাঘের মতন যাবি?
আমি কইতাছি অহনি খুইলা আসো, নাহলে আমি টাইনা ছিড়া ফেলামু কইলাম।
আমার খানদানি পোশাক তুমি টাইনা ছিঁড়া ফেলাইবা?
আমার ফোন দাও।
ফোন নিবা না। আমারে কইছো বন্ধুর লগে কথা কও, তুমি তো এঞ্জেল সোনিয়ার লগে কথা কও কি?
তারপর বউরে দিয়ে হাত পাটি পাইছে, এর বাদে বউরে কইছে পানি লয়ে আহো। বউ পানি লয়ে আইছে, এই পানি দিচ্ছে ফালায়া।
আম্মা আব্বা, রুটি সুরত দেখছেন? রুটি এরকম তেরে বাগা কেলা, হ্যাঁ? রুটি খুব সুন্দর। আব্বা আমারে না হয় তুমি বুঝাইলা, তুমি তোমার খানদানের কি বুঝাইবা, আমার আত্মীয় স্বজনের কি বুঝাইবা?
আমি দুঃখিত।
বইয়ের হাতে মার খাওয়া চলে, তাই কিছু কই নাই কা।
আমাগো খানদানে জামাই মারনের নিয়ম নাই কা।
তুই আমার এখান থেকে যাবি না মানে কি? অক্ষণ তুই বাইরবি।
আব্বা
কুইল যে কাপে না,
ওই বেটা ওই, তোর কইল কাপে না মিছা কথা কইতে? হ্যাঁ হারাম খোর জানি কোনখানকার।
মাগার মারামারিতে এক নম্বর।
আমি পারি। এখন মনটা চাইতেছে তোমার কান্দের উপর চড়ায় একটা আসান মারি।
ঠিক আছে ভাই, তাহলে আমার মুখ চুপ বন্ধ থাকবো, আর কেউ আমি কিছু কমু না, মুখে কষ্ট।
এখন লাইনে আইছোস।
তুমি কিন্তু আমার একটা ভিডিও কলও করো না। সোনিয়া, অ্যাঞ্জেল সোনিয়া।
তুমি কি শুরু করছো?
আরে আমি করলামটা কি, আমি যেখানে বয়ে আছি।
এই আমার ফোন দাও, দাও কইতাছি।
ছাড়ুন না।
কি দাও? ছাড়ো কইতাছি, আমার ফোন দিব না আমি।
এইটা আমগো খানদানি রীতি, তুই বুঝছ না?
আব্বা গতকালকে রাত্রে বেলা এমন সেটিং দিচ্ছি।
আব্বা ফোন দিয়ে কি করেন আপনি?
এই কথা কই, গান শুনি, এই আর কি।
বাস এই দুইটা কামের জন্য।
হায় হায়, করছে কি আমার খানদানির ইজ্জতের ফালুদা খেয়ালাইছে।
তবা তবা, কস কি এত বড় বদ জামাই?
হারামজাদায় আমার মা।
শাহজাহান,
শাহজাহানের সাজা বাগান হুয়ে গেছে গা।
শাহজাহান হলো না।
কও
বুঝার পারলাম না, বাড়ি মারলা আমারে, কান্দলা আমি কাঁদুম, তুমি কাঁদতাছো কেলা?
তারপর আর কি? সারা রাত কই আসলো, কি করছে আমি জানি না। আমার লাগে কেউ
আপনি তো আপনার শ্বশুর বাড়িতে গিয়া ঠিকই হ্যাঁ নিয়ম কানুন অক্ষরে অক্ষরে পালন করছেন, আর আমারতে আয়া মিছা গপ।
তুমি কি কইবার লাগছো এগুলা? তোমার কি মাথা আউট হয়ে গেছে নি? এত বড় স্পর্ধা আমার আদেশ।
আর আমি যে তোর রুমে আইছি, রাইতে ঘুমাইছি,